afternoon. Good afternoon. Hold on. Oh, good, good. Oh, I am a little fatigued. Just came from the gym. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about. Of course, we got to do our disclaimer. Let me pull you away from that light a little bit. All right. Yes, we are live. And hopefully I can hear myself. Turned up. And then let's set up. Got a disclaimer up. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. Let's go. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, where's my pen first? I didn't put my glasses on. I'm trying to get on here. Hey, glasses always. They good. They're good. And y'all good, pretty good with that light. I'm sure y'all good for your eyes. So, first thing we're gonna talk about is, so y'all can see me a little bit. First thing we're gonna talk about, Undersecretary Nicholas Kent. I don't know who this is. I don't know what he does exactly, but he has been sworn in, I believe, to the Department of Education. I seen this post on LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken, and I seen it on the U.S. Department of Education website. It should already be up here. Yep, right here. I already pulled it up. So let me go to LinkedIn. I think that's a video, if I'm not mistaken. I hope y'all day been well. Day's been pretty normal. I got in the habit of saying normal instead of good. That it just be normal, you know. As I set that up, and my brain is I would say rebooting, because I was running, exercising, so all the energy is like, you know, just calm, just cool, you know. Make sure the light's not bright. And then let me do this before I be talking and I wish I'd have did it. And I like to give y'all a first look before we start. I like to give y'all a first look. So, resources. Yes, Nicholas. I got two of them up here. Yeah, we got two of them. That's very short on that one. All right, so the first one, Linda McMahon has said that congratulations to Undersecretary Nicholas Kent. You will be an incredible asset to the team as we advance President Donald Trump's vision to hold higher education institutions accountable and support post-secondary students, faculty, and staff. And then it's more detailed. Shout out to Inside Higher Ed. Even though people don't use it, shout out to Inside Higher Ed. They always come with the information for me. Shout out to them. Like, Inside Higher Ed on LinkedIn, man, they probably get one like. I don't know how many impressions they get. They got a lot of followers, but, man, shout out to them, because they be coming in. And this was posted today. So, forgive me if I drink your water a little more than usual, because I got to hydrate. So this is by Jessica Blake. Undersecretary Nicholas Kent sets priorities for higher ed. Kent said Monday he will restore the greatness of American higher education. Some experts question how how he will do that. So I'm gonna go to the Department of Education because they posted it yesterday. I wanted to cover this, but I said I'll save it for tomorrow. We covered a good few things yesterday as well. So he is the 15th Undersecretary of Education. As we go, it says late on Friday. This is by Undersecretary Nicholas Kent. This is what he said late on Friday. I was greatly honored that the U.S. Senate confirmed me as the 15th Undersecretary of Education. He says that as a first-generation college student who received a Pell Grant from this very department, it is now my privilege to lead this talented team in ensuring that each rung, R-U-N-G, in the ladder of post-secondary success is in reach of every American citizen. So, okay, first, who is Nicholas Kent? I need to Google him first and foremost because I don't even know what college he went to. I don't know anything about this guy. As we like to say, I don't know him from a can of paint. So, Nicholas Kent, who is Nicholas Kent? And how does he affect us? Like, us going to college, like, what's going to change? Because I always like to do that. Nicholas Kent, he's not even popping up on Google. Nicholas Kent Education, let's see. And I need to join the control room. I jumped straight into it and even joined the control room. Give me a few seconds, guys. Be on the lookout. We got a video coming out tomorrow. It's just a clip. If you watch the live streams, it's just a clip for what we usually talk about. Perfect. So, Nicholas Kent, he is not showing up at all. He's not showing up on Google. Interesting. So it says right here, let's go to this. I don't know how credible this is. Let's see. So, Nicholas Kent, Deputy Secretary of Education, Commonwealth of Virginia. So he was in Virginia. Nicholas Kent is Deputy Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is old position, obviously. In this position, he develops and implements, in partnership with the Secretary of Education, the governor's post-secondary education strategy. Before joining the Youngkin administration, Kent was Chief Policy Officer at career education colleges and universities. Okay. Kent earned his bachelor's degree in political science from West Virginia Wesleyan College and his master's degree in higher education administration with a concentration in policy from the George Washington University. Okay. Kent. Okay. Nicholas Kent. All right, so you got some education. You got a master's in education, actually. That's actually what I'm getting mine in, except it's interdisciplinary studies of higher education. It sounds a little better. I think it is a little better, but you know. So, inside higher ed has wrote, they're showing a picture of him. Can't wait to upgrade so y'all can see this stuff. So they're showing a picture of him sworn in. We do this so much in the military. So Nicholas Kent, a career higher ed policy expert. He's considered a higher ed policy expert and now the Department of Education's undersecretary. So has made his priorities for American colleges and universities clear: controlling student debt, building public trust, and ensuring students experience a positive return on investment. Okay, let's see how he gonna do that. So right here it says who they quoting. They're quoting somebody. So I'm gonna say, quote, if colleges and other post-secondary institutions merit taxpayer investment, it is because they equipped American citizens with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in this rapidly evolving economy. He said in his first letter to the department staff, the higher education industrial complex must be shaken up by competition, accountability, and future-focused mindset. The letter was Kent's first statement since being confirmed late Friday. Okay. We get it. President Trump nominated him to be the most senior official focused on post-secondary education. Okay. Let's see how he's going to make a difference on the kids coming into college. That's what we want to know. How powerful is this position? Because sometimes it's not that the people like Linda, who is the Department of Education, like she's the Secretary of Education, like she's the honcho, but she really doesn't have. She has it, but she really doesn't. It's usually the people behind the scenes. Nicholas Kent might be that person behind the scenes, really making the pieces fall, and so we need to see if he's that person. So it says right here, overall, Kent's missive elicited praise and caution from higher ed experts. They say, so some say his years of experience combined with his resistance to status quo make him a prime appointee. Others worry that despite his promises of accountability and workforce development, he will focus more on the, what's the word? Volatility. I think not volatility, but volatility. I think that's volatility. Let's see. Vitality. So that means the liveliness, life, energy, animation. So energy. They say he will focus more on the energy of the market and less on consumer protection. Others still are encouraged simply by the fact that he's focused on constructive regulation, not culture war focused litigation. So if he is going to be cracking down on colleges, more of all those universities, actually, I'm not all against university. I got a state university on right now, San Diego State. So we represent all colleges. We love all colleges. At the end of the day, the ones that, it's college. It's a schoolhouse. Everybody should go to college. But if he's really going to crack down on universities, I really want to see how. I want to see it. Because I'm going to be on them. I'm going to be looking for things coming into place. If he's the reason why, hopefully Inside Higher Ed helps me out a little bit. I help them out. So somebody right here, I don't know who. All right, so they said they're quoting John Van Smith, Senior Vice President for Government Relations at the American Council on Education. So remember, guys, that's ACE. John Van Smith is on ACE. ACE represents student. They say, so ACE is supposed to be for students. If students need to speak out or complain or need advocation or advocate or anything, this is where you go. American Council on Education, known as ACE. So this guy he got some rank. He's a senior vice president for government relations. He says, I feel a little bit like a broken record because I keep coming back to it. But it's so refreshing to be talking about things like accountability, outcomes, value, and career-aligned education pathways compared to what we have been talking about the last 6 months with this administration. I will say that. I said that recently on the live stream, that a lot of the information they were pushing out has been strictly about cultural things, not really about making higher education better. It's been stagnation, not really holding schools accountable. Like, let's think about it. I actually got this noted down. Like, college football is around the corner, but most of the students are footing athletic bills that are coming up. Some students probably don't have enough money to pay for school this upcoming semester, but they're managing to get football, basketball, college football, basketball, that's going to get carried out regardless of what's going on, right? But at the same time, it's more about, from my perspective, like I said, students are paying more mandatory fees, tuition increase. Those things are still happening. Students are not saving money in college. They're about to burn more money in college and probably not get a job coming out of college because of AI. AI is really here. As you know, I talk about a particular company on here when I'm live streaming, but AI is not going anywhere. If I tell anybody, like, I'm really considering after I graduate to take some AI courses to be certified. But you have to be well versed in AI, artificial intelligence, because it's not going nowhere. So he said, hopefully the confirmation of Nicholas Kent will help reorient the Trump administration toward productive policy outcomes. So they say he's a first generation college student. We read that on Department of Education. They say he spent his entirety of his career. Kent has spent the entirety of his career in higher education. They say most recently he served as the Deputy Education Secretary for Virginia Governor Glenn Young Ken. We talked about that. But that before that, he advocated primarily for private institutions, working with both career education colleges and universities, which represents some for-profit colleges and education affiliates. A for-profit college company that faced public scrutiny in 2013 after a whistleblower accused the company of fraud. As I say, guys, don't never go to a college that is for-profit. Don't do it. They're, like they said, it's always dealing with fraud, because what? The school goal is to make money. It's not really in the best interest of the student. Like, any for-profit school, I don't know any for-profit schools that are, I don't know any, but any for-profit colleges or universities, whatever, they're not good most of the time. They're just, I feel like just a place to put your money in, diversify, if you ask me. But for-profit colleges slash universities are not good. But they say, critics say Kent's ties to for-profit colleges, which they see as predatory, which is true. Which G was here because G had a saying that goes like, it's something. I know ignorant is it. He said blissful ignorance. I know that one, but it's another one. He said he calls it predatory. So they're saying they see. Critics say Kent ties to for-profit colleges, which they see as predatory, should have disqualified him from the job. But the Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, voiced confidence in him. Yeah, I can see what you're saying, because he probably don't have the best interests of students. He probably has the best interests of colleges. So it's kind of a contradiction. How do you have the best interests of schoolhouses? How are you going to have the best interests of schoolhouses? I mean, how are you going to have the best interests of students when in reality he's might going to have a high interest in the schoolhouses and how they can make more money and how they can bluster with more funds and stuff. And so that's probably where they're getting at. I haven't made it through all the way yet, but let's keep going. They say his technical experience or his technical expertise and vast experience in higher education will serve as an invaluable asset to the Department of Education team. McMahon said in a statement, blah, blah, blah. Talking about he got nominated. We know that. They're saying in his letter to the department staff, they say Kent provided little granular detail, though he's expected to say more at several upcoming rulemaking sessions. He did speak generally on a few topics like increasing access to alternative post-secondary pathways. So when they say increasing access to alternative post-secondary pathways, it got me interested what that means exactly. Yeah, that can go a lot of ways. That could be them articulation agreements I've been talking about for a good minute now. Or it could be just saying y'all need to go to a 2-year and go into a trade. Which I tell you guys, go to a 2-year, but you don't have to do a trade. You could take all your gen ed classes and bridge to university. Protecting campus. So right here it says protecting campus free speech and helping students feel empowered by their post-secondary options. That's what we're trying to do, make you feel empowered. They're saying right here, President Trump isn't trusting him. But right here, this is interesting. I quote. This is our quote. Who's saying this? So they're saying he wrote this. They're saying Kent said this. Kent said, I quote, President Trump has entrusted me with a very weighty task to restore the greatness of American higher education and ensure that our taxpayer supported colleges, universities, and vocational schools and other post-secondary programs are genuinely helping young Americans, he wrote. He said high school graduates should enter college with a clear direction. The taxpayer money spent on their education should have a direct impact on their ability to contribute to the workforce. And the federal government should be less focused on making legacy institutions too big to fail and making students skilled enough to succeed. That's true. I feel like when we go to college, we should have a direct skill. Like when I step out of college, I'm applying this to my job. And I'll say that's one thing I did have when I was at my university. I learned a lot of like it's very underrated skills until I'm next to someone who doesn't know how to do it. But I did a lot of like hands-on screenshotting screens, snipping screens, making emails. Like you can say very like admin savvy to make it easy for me, so I don't have to type a lot of words in the email. For example, I can just show a screenshot like to a student. For example, if a student is saying I don't see it, I can take a screenshot from my view if I'm in a software similar to theirs, and then I can say it's right here, highlighted in red. Just all those underrated admin skills. I would say that's one of my skills. If I ever need a job in a bad time, if we ever hit like rough times like a pandemic or anything similar to that, I can get an admin job easy and do admin work. That's probably one of my skills. And of course, military, but definitely like civilian wise, admin skills are like my go to because it's really simple, but most people don't know how to do admin work. Admin work can be very stressful if not knowing how to do it, but it's very simple work. So they said Kent also reiterated a point which Trump and McMahon have been making since the earlier days of the chief's second term in office. The Department of Education and its Office of Federal Student Aid are failing to properly manage student loans. Hold up, let me read that again. It says Kent also reiterated a point which Trump and McMahon have been making since the early days of the chief's second term in office. Chief of Command, that's what they mean. The Department of Education and its Office of Federal Student Aid are failing to properly manage student loans. Yes, student loans are a train wreck right now. And as I like to say, I would say it's going to be a bubble if they don't get it under control. Because $1.7 trillion, I remember when it was like 1.5 going into 1.6, and now it's 1.7. It's crazy. Yeah. People don't want to talk about it. People don't want to hear it. But man, student loans are like, because people don't really have money. The way everything going in a concise and short way. I'm not the biggest economist, but in a short, simple way, you think about student loans being going at the rate they are, and that people are not paying them. And it's not that people are not paying them. Some people probably don't have jobs right now because it's still tough to get jobs. So then they remember they said they're going to garnish. So then you have like these tariffs coming, and then they say the tariffs supposedly are supposed to like this on Fox and CNN. So everybody is saying like people with good heads on their shoulders who went to college, that went to school for economics, they are saying that yo, these tariffs are going to hit these consumers. So if you got tariffs that are going to hit consumers, how are you going to expect consumers to pay for loans and getting hit by tariffs when everything is going to get higher? Remember, guys, cars, those are finna go up. If you haven't got a car before the tariffs hit, you better get one. Disclaimer, not financial advisor, but if them tariffs hit them cars, it's going to be real hard to get a car. You think it's hard to get a car now? It's going to be really hard to get a car. So many things about to get so expensive that it's going to trickle, and that I think it's really something bad is cooking up. I really do. So as we keep going, it says by no means should this department administer a 1.7 trillion student loan portfolio, the fifth largest financial servicer in the country that is 25% in default, he said. And then as we keep going, ooh. No, he didn't. I like him. Let me read it. Colleges should not be increasing their tuition each year, enabled by generous federal loan subsidies, without having to answer for their students' outcomes. Kent wrote. Ooh. Seems a little nerdy by me, but ooh. Hey, I like Kent. Hey, Kent saying something that I don't know if he be watching my videos and not saying something, but Kent need to shout me out. Kent said colleges should not be raising. Universities, they're done. Universities about to be done this year. They finna go through a train wreck. He said colleges should not be increasing their tuition each year. Because what they're saying is the loan subsidies, this is what they're saying. With the loan subsidies, schools are raising their tuition because they know students are going to take out loans. They're saying they know you're going to take out a loan, like a subsidized loan, right? You got non-subsidized and subsidized. They're saying they know you're going to take out a subsidized loan, and I don't even know how much a subsidized loan. I don't even know how much you can max out at. What's up, G? I don't even know how much you can max out at with a subsidized loan. So they're saying like schools would just raise the tuition dedicatedly, and then you was early today, weren't you? Yeah, I was early. I started about 8:45ish. I've been pretty good. We came from the gym. Me and my brother got a workout in it. When did we start working out? I got there probably like 6. I would say we started like at 6:30. We did a 45-minute leg workout, and then I ran the mile, and then I'm here. And so, if the energy is low, the energy kind of high, but it's still kind of low. So pretty good. How about you? How about you? And then we talking about Nicholas Kent right now, G. And Nicholas Kent, he sounded like he gonna be one of my people I like. Nicholas Kent said colleges should not be increasing their tuition each year. And he was saying that schools have been raising them probably because they have these loan subsidies. So if they keep raising it, in theory, if they keep raising their, I mean, been pretty good though. That's good. That's good, G. You been making sure you got some sleep. You been resting. Always gotta get some rest. I know you're an entrepreneur and all, but you still gotta rest a little bit here and there. Don't want you burning out. I know entrepreneurs be like, I just need 2 hours of sleep and I'm good. You know. So, but in theory, Ken. I'm just calling him Ken like I know him. In theory, Kent is saying that, yeah, they raised the tuition because they know students will pull out more loans. And like I said, it goes back to the PLA, the preferred lender arrangement. Funny thing is, my whole life, 5 has actually been enough. 5 has been enough. Yeah, but I try to get 7 at least. Yeah, we try to get 7 too. Do you think that started back? Side note, real quick, before I jump back into what we talking about with Nicholas Kent and what he plans to do for Department of Education. So far, I like him. He's going to be holding universities accountable. Really, all colleges, but universities, because they've been raising their tuition. But what I was gonna ask you, G? Do you think that started back in college for you, G? Like getting 5 hours of sleep? Because I try to go to sleep on time too. I never can go to sleep on time. I think we stuck with that, G. I think we're gonna be getting 5 hours of sleep. I try to go to bed at 10, but I just be staying up reading sometimes or watching video. I just can't. I ain't gonna say I can't. It just be hard to go to bed at like 10:30 or 10 o'clock. Like it just be hard. So yeah, I want your response on that real quick, G, before we keep going. Is it hard? Like, do you think that started back in college? While I wait on G with that. Because, guys, as college students, people think college students got it made. They think they think college students, man, they think we just go to school, go home. They think we like the college athletes or something. Like, real academic scholars, like, who really do schoolwork, we stay up late. We do not go to bed on time. Like, we really yeah. So G said, no, literally my whole life, LOL. Since I could remember, I'll go to bed at like 2 and be up like 5:30. When my mom got up to do newspaper, I was up before she was, so she wouldn't leave me up. And that was when I was like 4. You got really good memory. You remember things from when you was 4 years old. That's really good memory. That's really good memory. I remember a few things, but you sound like you remember a lot more. That's very detailed. I love that. And so, as we go, so right here they say, all right, so I'm getting well versed. Preston Cooper, saying that name a lot more. They say some policy experts like Preston Cooper, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank, said they were thrilled to see Kent confirmed and characterized his letter as right on the mark. Okay. Others like Fan Smith from Ace were not quite as enthusiastic, but still hopeful. Still remain hopeful. You should be, because universities are trash. No offense to all universities, but they're trash. Even though I went there, they're trash. I'm wearing one. They're just trash. Like, you just raise prices on people. They don't care about people. They got presidents making millions. I wonder is Kent gonna change that? Kent should definitely. Kent, I'm gonna send something to you. Why do presidents make so much money? Kent, you better give me a good answer. I'm gonna write him. I'm gonna let y'all know. And then G also said my great grandfather, my great grandfather remembers things from his childhood. So I wouldn't say memory is. I wouldn't say memory is too so spectacular. It still is. His older brother's memory is even better. Oh, his older brother memory. Oh, dang, that's dope. That's dope. I actually plan on getting my TT, Uncle Tico and them, Uncle Bubba. I plan on recording them. I've been thinking about it in my head. I'm saying it out loud. I'm thinking about asking them about stories. So when I do have kids in the future, they can hear those stories so they don't forget the history. Yeah. I'm really thinking about doing that. Get those conversations that, down the line, you won't be able to get in the future. Especially in the way we're going with digital. Man, the way we're going to live in 10 years, if everything keep going the way it's going, the way we're going to be in 10 years, like, I'm going to try to make sense. If we go back to 2015 and then we go to 2035, we're going to be like, 2015 was like cave times. Like, y'all was writing on paper. Y'all was going places, not doing everything online and digital. It's going to be weird. Like, it's going to be weird times in 2035. Weird times. And then G said, I should do the same. I actually did a project in high school where I interviewed and recorded black educators from long ago. Wow. And these were people who were actually teaching during segregation and navigating integration in our state. Wow. Ooh. Dang. I want that interview. That's a dope interview. That's dope. Give me a fun fact from that. Do you remember a fun fact from that interview, G? But this was literally a little more than a decade ago. G, do you remember like a fun fact they said in there that somebody wouldn't know? Like something you probably couldn't find, something you couldn't find on the internet. Yeah, it was pretty cool riding around town, catching up with old people, with the oldies. Did you remember a fun fact from what they said, like with the segregation, the integration? Like, did they give you like something that they, like those small details that most people don't think was going on, like a small fun fact detail? And then I'll say for Nicholas Kent, on a closeout too, while G typed that. Um, and then somebody right here they quoted who they quoting? They was quoting people, I guess I don't know who they're quoting, but they said if the Trump administration really cares about improving student outcomes and holding colleges accountable, they should make sure there is sufficient staff to properly oversee higher education and protect students and taxpayers. He added, I don't know who he is. It's what students deserve and Americans won't. And that's the closeout. So far I like Nicholas Kent. I'm in between. Let me say that. I'm in between. Because Nicholas Kent, like I said, he used to work primarily and advocate for profit colleges / universities, which are money grubbing places. They're not really built for schoolhouses to say that you got a great education. So I would definitely say Nicholas Kent though sounds good right now, but we'll see what gets carried out. You know me, if he hitting them universities and giving them a hard time, I'm all for it. So real quick before we go to our next segment. G replied, G said, yeah, fun fact, a lot of private academics in my state just so happened to open up around the time my state finally decided to integrate. Huh. Interesting. And if you from these areas, you know why this happened, LOL. Also, with integration, they just kind of force students and teachers into single schools. Regardless of the number of students. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that. Oof. Yeah, it had to be bad. Probably like 30 kids, 40 kids, and one teacher. Oof. Poor teachers. Do you think teachers were actually getting paid well back then? I wonder. Or they still was getting terrible pay. So essentially public school became black school, and private school essentially became white schools. That is how it traces back. That is how it traced back in history. That is how it traced back. That is how it traced. I mean, back when teaching was actually a respected career. Respected. Then. Interesting to know. That's interesting. Knew you had some fun facts about that. So our next segment. University of Northern Iowa. That's it, right? University of Northern Iowa. Yes. So they did something. If you out there in the Iowa area, this school did something pretty dope. They did something really dope. I gotta get them a shout out with the glasses hanging down. University of Northern Iowa. I think they like a wildcat. I don't know. So I'm gonna go with the glasses down on this one. What they did, every school should do this. And then also, quick note: on previous segment, schools charging too much is just a talking point. G, don't do that. Don't try to jade me. G, don't try to make me jaded with that. That gives me hope on both sides of the on both sides of the. G, that gives me hope. You're trying to jade my vision right now. Kent said he's gonna crack down on these universities. They shouldn't be raising tuition. Don't do that, G. Don't do that. That's my hope right now. That's my hope. They gonna pause. Hopefully he come up. If he studied math, if he really got his math, they say he got his master's in higher education administration. They say if he really went to school for a master's, but I don't know. I feel like he got a really traditional mindset. There should be a universal pause on tuition. And now I know there would be some side effects, like some people will get laid off. A lot of budgets will hurt probably on schools. Probably not. But there should be a universal pause when needed. We never had one. That's why the university prices just got out of hand. Like, how does a university prices how does that outpace inflation? That makes no sense. And so I don't know, cause he's under. I don't know much about undersecretary. I'm gonna Google it. They're saying he's the undersecretary at the Department of Education. What does the undersecretary? Before we talk about University of Northern Iowa, let's see what it is. What does the undersecretary of education? I don't want to say deputy. I want to say undersecretary, like literally. All right. So right here, G said some more things. G said he doesn't have that kind of power. It makes sense if you view college as a product sold by colleges and universities. It makes perfect sense. Trump would have done it if he had the type of power. Huh. So neither does the president have that power. Have that power to do what? Put a universal policy on? A universal policy? That's what you're talking about, G? Congress doesn't have that kind of weight. You talking about what? To put a universal policy on for schools? To do something like that, yeah, a universal policy. Oh, yeah, universal policy, yeah. I don't know who. I don't know who. I spent a lot of time researching it in class because I wrote on it. And I was really trying to figure out because I was first searching the internet for hours. I like delayed my paper by like a week because I was trying to find that and I didn't really want to use. I was trying to go factual, and so I didn't see nothing about it ever happening. I didn't see anything about tuition freezes happening unless it was, you could say, like the governor did it. So the way it goes is like in some states, the school has more power, and then in some cases, where depending on the state, once again, the governor has the power over the school. It's not consistent. Like it's crazy. Like because Governor Abbott, if I say his last name right, in Texas, he put a tuition freeze on. And then if you go look at certain schools will have to go before the board, like the university system of that state, and then they have to get it approved to freeze the tuition. Sometimes, depending on that school, or sometimes the school could just say we're not going to raise our tuition. It's not consistent. It's like that's the problem, and so that's why I always be like, I'm not sure how that state gets down, and so G right here said states have the power, but only for public schools, but also don't have the political pull to keep it in place. Yeah, states can do it, specifically governors or their Congress because they fund them, and obviously the schools boards does as well. Yeah, it's like you see, very, very that's democracy right there. So it's not really like no structure. It's bouncing. It's not consistent. I want it to be structured, but I don't. I'm a little pessimistic. I don't think it's really gonna happen. I guess, but I'm not gonna let you jade me on that. It's gonna happen. Well, not that, but those university prices, that tuition increase, it's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, what the University of Northern Iowa did, what they did. So pretty much, if you was a neighbor state to them, which is like I talk about, guys, you can go to schools out of state, but you have to be on the border of it. So if you're in Georgia, you can go to. If you're in Georgia, depending where you're located in Georgia, some people are closer, like in Georgia, some people are closer to like South Carolina, for example, right? So if you're in like, because I'm in Georgia, if you're in Augusta, Georgia, you have a good chance of going to school in South Carolina because South Carolina is on the border of Augusta. You see what I'm saying? So what they did, they said, so the University of Northern Iowa had approved this, okay, went to the board of regents, and then they approved it. So they said 6 states bordering Iowa will pay the same in-state tuition rate as Iowa residents. Man, this is how you be innovative. This is how you get more students to come to your institution. This is how you be innovative. Like more things like this, you keep the prices right, you pay your people right, you get that funding. You got, some people got to get paid a lot more than others who bringing in that money. This is how you work right here. This is how you structure. And so what are those 6 states, right? because this is Iowa. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know Iowa. I know it's up there. So before we keep going, G said, before I say the 6 states, G said they only did that to get more students because who lives in Iowa? Hey, exactly. That's a good move. That's why we got to give them a shout out. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it Iowa who had less students going to college? Everybody got less students going to college. I think they mentioned it in their post. This is on their website, their school website as well. So the 6 states. So they said bordering Iowa is Illinois, Minnesota, call it Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't know anybody that goes to Dakota. I don't know anybody South Dakota. I don't know nobody that goes to Nebraska. I don't know anybody that goes to Wisconsin. I don't know anybody who goes to. All right, that's it. Just those three. And then only reason I say Missouri because I know well people don't go to Missouri for real either. But yeah. So very interesting. So they said right here, tuition and fees for in-state students and new students from the 6 states bordering Iowa, the 6 states we just said. So if you are in those following 6 states, you will be paying about pretty much $10,201 for the 25-26 academic year. Families taking advantage of University of Northern Iowa's neighboring state rate will save over $12,000 annually compared to paying traditional non-resident tuition. Nah. What you meant to say was, see, this how you look. This is bad marketing. They said $12,000. They said non-residents will save $12,000 annually. What they were supposed to say, you already know what I'm about to do. What they were supposed to say, maybe they'll see this video and change it. What they were supposed to say is, look, parents would save 12,000 times 4 because their kid will be there for 4 to 5 years, but hopefully they'll get out in 4 years. They would save 48,000 extra dollars. That's what they were supposed to say. They would save 48,000 over the years because that's going to be combined. They're paying double or triple, depending on how they got it set up. They're paying way more than a traditional student in state. But if you're in them 6 states, you are good. So do they have any other? Let's see. So right here they said this is supposed to. So University of Northern Iowa's neighboring state rate will help students from those 6 states we said before. If you don't know, play it back. But I'm gonna say it one more time. Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Wisconsin to assess affordable, high-quality education while enhancing workforce-ready skills to address job shortages in the region. So, guys, that's a heads up. If you're trying to go get a job, Iowa has a shortage. They need some employees, but also they need people with skills. G said, I agree, that would be better marketing, but they may not have thought about the potential tuition increases, so they don't want to look like liars. Yeah, that is true. Because I don't know, a lot of schools have not been posting their increases yet. I'm trying to figure out how people even, I guess they've been calling the school, but those prices have not been on websites. When I've been reviewing these schools live, a lot of schools have not been updating like these prices. And I go to school August 25th. I spent like 2 or 3 hours today trying to get some figure out with school. Took so much of my time today. I tell you, I should have been working at day college. It took so long. But it says right here, what they're saying. All right. I don't know if this means anything, but they said increasing University Northern Iowa's affordability is the fact that 1 in 8 students, which means out of 8 students, 1 of them from the University of Northern Iowa graduates in only 3 years. That's pretty good. So let's get to something that actually can help somebody who's in Iowa or one of these 6 states. So guys, I really can't wait to show you guys when I upgrade stuff, because I really can show you like what I'm looking at. So they have the approximate mileage to Cedar Falls from Midwest City. So pretty much from Iowa and the places that are like the mileage from lowest to max you can be in. And then I know you said something too, G. You said something. I have some good. Oh, I didn't see that. You said I have some good friends from Nebraska, St. Louis, LOL. St. Louis, St. Louis, Nebraska. Well, who goes to Nebraska? Ain't Nebraska known for potatoes? Or that's Idaho. Probably thinking of Idaho. They're known for the potatoes. Let me stop. Let me stop. So yeah, it's funny. St. Louis is on this list too. G. St. Louis is on this list. They're like barely cut off, 345 miles. You said no one goes to Missouri. That's why I said St. Louis. I didn't know St. Louis was that close. Let me stop if I embarrass myself. It is that close. Yeah, it is that close. It's in driving distance. Yeah, I know that because one of my associates in my circle, they actually they actually drive there a few times. They actually drive there. So they said right here, we're gonna see how true this is. St. Louis is in Missouri, LOL. See, look, they didn't even know that. No, I ain't been up there. I was like, see, I'm glad you caught me, G. I bet G, I was like, I think G catching on. Also, Warren Buffett is from Omaha, Nebraska. He is one of the, Omaha. One of the best investors, if not the best investor. He won't call himself the best. I have a family from there. That's dope. It's good to have family up north. My family went west, like Cali, and most of them are in Alabama and Georgia, of course, because I'm in Georgia. And then I got family in Tampa on my dad's side, Tampa, Florida. And then some of my family went to Miami. So obviously South and West Coast, right? That's pretty dope. Look at us, G. Look at us. Idaho is known for potatoes. Yes, indeed, because I be buying them. I be buying them. Publix getting free advertisement. I be buying them. We went to St. Louis and Chicago and Atlanta and some in Indiana. Yeah. So right here they say University of Northern Illinois. Oh, I say Illinois. University of Northern Iowa remains the most affordable public institution in Iowa and has long been recognized for helping first-generation college students achieve their educational and professional goals. It is consistently ranked number 2 on U.S. News and World Report's annual list of best regional universities in the Midwest, underscoring UNI's, which is them, ongoing commitment to academic excellence and student success. So, and then G said something in Indiana. I know a guy from Idaho as well. He's actually indigenous. Hey. You said something else. Oh, that's it. Okay. So, let's see how affordable they are real quick. I don't believe this. I don't believe them. Talking about they are affordable. Check them out. They said they one of the most affordable. Let's see what they declare let's see what they declare affordable first and foremost. See, they always got to get me checking. Oh, and I think I found it. Very much let me see. Give me cuckoo. Because I need their tuition rates. I want to see this real quick. We're probably going to review this school. Yeah, we're going to review them. Oh, I think we did review this school. I think we reviewed them already. That logo. I remember that logo. I'm not going to review them because I think I already did review them. I think I did. I can see I clicked on it. I did. So I'll just wait till I post it and then we'll see if they're affordable. Look at that. Gotta love it. So, and they're pretty much just bragging about their school at this point, blah, blah, blah. So I thought that was dope what they did, guys. Of course, when we play this back, maybe this will be a clip. We can clip this for sure. We can clip this. I'm gonna say clip for my notes because somebody might not know that. Somebody might not know that. So when they come, we got it. So I thought that was dope, and like we said, we are going. You wouldn't. I would have what? I would have what, G? And then now we finna go on after G said what? Cause G said I wouldn't. I'm finna see what G talking about. We finna go to our last segment, Furman University. You wouldn't believe me if I told you my cousins. For what school? What's the school? Or you don't want to say the school? Like, give me a hint. I think I can figure the school out. Well, don't say the mascot, because the mascot is too many mascots. But what I wouldn't believe, how much come on, talk to me. They're at a university. Come on. What they at, G? They're at a university. They at a private school. What's the spiel? What's the T? What's the T? Before we get into Furman University. I want to figure out what Furman did that made me pick them. That's what they did. I might do a review on them. Oh, community college. Commuter. Guys. Moment of silence for the community college. You wouldn't believe me if I told you my cousin's tuition at a community. How much is it at the community college? How much is it? For once, yeah, for the year. How much is it for the year? How much is it? And we're watching before we talk about Furman University. And guys, we're going to review Furman University because Furman University is actually a popular school. And the reason I know about Furman University because they went on a March Madness run, I believe, not too long, some years back. So we're gonna review them. I'm pulling your leg. It's only about 3,800 for the year or semester. For the year or semester. That's G. You better not do that. You trying to pull. See, man, G be playing the year, man. Oh my goodness, 3,800 for the year divided by 2. That's 1,900. Let's go. What state that is? What state that is? I know it ain't Georgia. That's too low. I know that ain't Georgia. I know it's not Georgia. It got to be like in Florida. I know. It got to be Florida. Just give me a yeah if it's Florida. Or like it got to be 3,800 for the year? Nah, it might be Georgia. It might be Georgia. I ain't gonna say all that, but nope, LOL. Okay. That's good. I thought I was gonna catch you, G. I thought I was gonna catch you because I remember you saying you went to the orientation. I thought I caught you. But you gotta see, look, your memory real good. We playing. See, okay. I didn't get you that time. I know I'm on your TVs and I don't know which one. I'm gatekeeping. But I love the pricing though. Is your cousin has your cousin started classes yet, and do they like the classes so far? If they did start, that's always important because I want them to make sure they get the best experience, even though I don't work at that 2 year. Okay, no, she hasn't started. Okay, keep me in the loop. I haven't forgot either. That is such dope, man. We love to see that. We love to see that. So Furman University takes new approach to student recruitment. She's actually doing this semester online. Okay. Okay. So Furman University takes new approach on. She got full tuition with a little kickback. Okay, that's good. That's good. You said full tuition with a little kickback. So you mean like a refund check? That's what you mean with a little kickback, like a refund check? Hey, S&P, disclaimer not financial advisor. Put that thing in the S&P index, or if you on Vanguard, VOO, VTI. Let that thing ride for them years you in school. You'll thank me later. You would thank me later. At least according to her financial aid, she should get one. Yeah. Make sure she right, G. Take care of her. I know you, and she got you in her corner. She gonna be good. Great. So, deja vu. Furman University takes new approach to student recruitment. If it goes down, it goes back up. The market is up 79% of the time. If you want to round it to 80, sound better, do an 80-20. But disclaimer, not a financial advisor. You can't go wrong with the index. Safest thing out there. So, Furman University takes new approach to student recruitment. I don't know what they're doing exactly, but they did say, per Chronicle Higher Education, they said Furman sweetens the early decision pot. So what does that mean? So for one, Furman University is in South Carolina. I didn't even know they was in South Carolina. The South Carolina Liberal Arts College is offering early course registration. Dope. South Carolina been on. Hey, South Carolina, they been on one this year. South Carolina been making moves this summer. They've been making some real moves, and I love that. They've been making some real moves. So right here they said if you do an early decision with them, the South Carolina Liberal Arts College is offering early course registration, preferred placement in a top choice dorm. I don't support that. Stay off campus. And the inside track to a prime writing seminar for students who are accepted through its early decision process. So it says selective institutions are often emphasizing early decision as they try to bolster their recruiting and budgets against increasing competitiveness and federal uncertainty. I'm telling you, it's heating up out here. If you want to figure out how to get into a school, you better go to the school that's offering the best deals. That's what it's about. Like G and me, and even my girlfriend, shoot, it's about getting the best deal. Bump going to a name, we want the best deal. And I think Furman University is I think they're private, if I'm not mistaken. Furman University. It's funny, as soon as they pop up, basketball pops up. Yeah, they are. They are it's not saying no Google, but founded in 1826. Furman University is a prestigious private liberal arts and sciences university. Yes, G, they're a liberal arts and sciences university. Yeah, because G like disrespecting my schools. G like talking about my schools, not my schools, but my college, my school of house. Like liberal arts and sciences ain't all that. G over here talking about some, liberal arts. You come out with a salary of this. Don't be talking about us, G. We shift mindsets. We open up doors in the head a little bit. Gee, we talk about us, computer science majors, always thinking they know things. So I'm on the actual school website. One thing I love about Chronicle Higher Education, so glad I went to graduate school. One thing I love about them is that they always put a citation that leads to the actual school website, or is going to lead to something credible. And if it leads to like a little small, because you can tell the difference. If it leads to like a news outlet, like Channel 9 or something. You know, like you got to be careful with that. But when it comes off the school website, the horse's mouth, those are the best credibilities out there. So it says when colleges and universities, top of the line, this is Furman University, when colleges and universities across the country opened their websites for application on August 1st, Furman University launched new and enhanced ways for attracting future students and their parents. So G said something about Furman, so I got to stop real quick. G said, "LO, that's true. I'm gonna cut the disclaimer when I show it in court." Yeah, because you know they quit to believe that, and I said, "Oh, court, I don't think that's true, court." Play the whole video. Go to the live screen, court. And so G said, "Warranted. One of the people who went to Furman did something in science." LOL. One of the people. Who's one of the people? You went to Furman too, G? I'm just playing. I know you go to Furman. And so Charles Towns. Who is Charles Towns? Sound like a comedian. I said that sound like a comedian. Let me see. And the Finnish president actually did too. And the Finnish president. Charles Towns. So guys, we looking up Furman University alumni real quick. But that's all I know of Furman. Ah, Charlie look like Tom Hanks a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he did study at Furman. He studied at California Institute of Technology. And, he bounced around from school to school. You know, Google be a little inaccurate, but definitely Furman. They got Duke, California Institute of Technology, and then they got his high school. So yeah, he was born in Greenville, South Carolina. Physics. He worked. Yeah, see, Towns worked on the theory and the application of the Macer. I don't know what that is, but yeah, G, theory and application. I say I put my own theories together, but I do put my own theories and application. I do it for myself. Have I done it for other people? Also, Mark Sanford. I forgot. Mark Sanford, okay. Yeah, warranted. He went to them. He said, well, yeah, warranted. Not finna play with you. So, technically, my degree is from a liberal arts college. It is, very much. But, you know, I like to take jabs. You know, I like to jab you a little bit. If it ain't about my 2-year being better than Columbia or my liberal arts degree being better than that computer science degree you got, gee, what do we have? We got to have some little good debates. You know, we got to have some good debates. So, early decision. Furman University, the most significant change is the early decision process. Acceptance under early decision is a binding commitment. For the first time, Furman is offering distinct advantages to students who apply under the binding application round. Students offered admission through early decision will receive. So if you are offered admission, students offered admission through early decision will receive early course registration for the first semester, first year classes. That's dope. To be an incoming freshman and you get early course registration at a university, I ain't gonna lie, that's a big deal. For anybody who go to college, that's a big deal. Preferred placement in one of their top three first year resident hall choices. We don't care about that. Don't stay on campus. We don't care about that. Preferred placement in one of their top 3 first year writing seminar course choices. Yeah, it sounds like they hurting for students to me. I quote. So they really got to spice up the offerings. Yeah, the best thing they could do. You see, they ain't throw no discount, G. They ain't throw no discounts. They said, look, you could get to choose. Yeah, discount. No, choose. Of course, these come with tight deadlines. They said there are 2 early decision periods, which are binding. The early decision 1 deadline is November 1st, which decisions are announced by November 15th. Whew, poor admissions. Yeah, LOL, no discount. I ain't even look. We're gonna review them. We ain't even look at their prices yet. Feel sorry for admissions. They gotta work. Admissions working extra hard. The early decision 2 deadline is January 15th, with decisions announced by February 1st. So, that's gonna be y'all high priority. Furman has moved up its timeline for early action, a non-binding application. The deadline is now November 1st, 2 weeks sooner than last year. Applicants will be notified of pretty much being admitted by December 20. So right here, I don't know who they're quoting. They're quoting Emily. They're quoting Emily, vice president for enrollment management. She made easily probably 6 figures. Probably make quarter million on salary. It's a private school, but we ain't even gonna look at her pay. We ain't even gonna do her like that. So I'm gonna do her like that though. I'm gonna do it. 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 You know I gotta do it, G. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Yeah, that's her. Let's take all that out. Got you. And it's on the school website. It's public record. Public record, public service. This is not it. They be tricking me. They know how to get me. Well, they're not stating what her pay is. Type in her salary. Y'all win this one. All they're doing is talking about G put me on the spot, huh? You know, I love being put. I love being tested. I love that. Fourth quarter crunch time. I'm gonna keep this for the record. Let me see what you said. So I can't find her pay, luckily, but she said before I go to G comment. She said high school students and their families need to know quickly where they have been accepted and how much they need to budget for college, said Emily, vice president for enrollment management at Furman. We have adjusted our practices to be more aligned with what's more important for families today. So making things more. I feel sorry for the staff members who got to work on that tight deadline, but unless they got a lot of staff, which in most cases schools don't structure it like that. Like, to do that, you need to have at least in enrollment management, you need to have a good chunk of people, unless they work really fast and really good. Now, keep in mind, if you're enrollment management, you still got to deal with students. In some cases, I don't know how they structure it, orientation videos and all this other jazz for students. So they finna be working around the clock this year. They finna be working, at least for the first semester. They finna be working a lot. And so going to G real quick, G said, it went away. You took the comment away. I know you said something about would I cap myself at 250 G. I know you said something like that. If you want to type it again, type it again. I seen it. That's true, but I'm sure they thought about it. Hopefully. Hopefully. Because if they struggled last year and they trying to make it hard this year, I don't know. G said, now you talking about them. If you become a college administrator, even a president, let's say, of Columbia University, hurry up before it goes away. Let's say of Columbia University, will you hold yourself to a 250 grand pay cap? Yeah, I would. I would. I most certainly would. I truly believe I don't need personally, I don't need that much money. I don't need that much. With the way I budget and the way I don't have a taste for luxury things. I guess these presidents and other members have taste for luxury things and traveling a lot. Um, I wouldn't. I would definitely. I don't need that. I mean, I'll definitely cap myself at 250. LOL, you say that, but you touch that green, it might change. LOL. Everybody say that, but I turned down. Fun fact: I turned down a lot of things so far. G that could have made me more money. Like definitely in the military. Like I could have easily went active duty, you know, and that makes a lot more than my career field I'm in now. And I could have did, most people, we got education, you can commission. I turned that down essentially. I still always can do it and still be in the reserves, but I turned that down technically right now in the moment. And so I've been turning down things that can make me a lot more money. And so if you tell me I can make 250K, which will help a lot more people, it'll help my team, my people, everybody in that institution is on my team. If you're a janitor, if you cafeteria, it don't matter what you do. If y'all can have y'all jobs and the students can save money and everything can float pretty good, I would definitely do that. 250K. I would definitely do that. But you're right. Sometimes when you touch that green, you like, I don't know, 250 might not be enough. So I do understand when you touch a certain type of money that first time, it changes. When you get used to having more money, for sure, it do change. For sure. I do agree with you on that. LOL, you say that, but I already read that. That just wasn't what you wanted to do. But you want to be a higher ed administrator, right? So more money in your desired profession. That's a kind of mindset to have, to be honest. But also keep in mind schools like Columbia could definitely afford to pay way more. Yeah, they could afford to pay me more. I wouldn't want to work at a school like Columbia though. I like to work on things that need to be worked on. So I have a reason to wake up. Like you work at a school like Columbia or like when I was at Georgia Tech, it's just more of like consistency. Like those places are never going to really be struggling on students. You know this, G. They're never going to be struggling on students. It's never going to be like, how can we get better? Like I want to be at a school where I see us growing and getting better, and then I go. And like I just want to do that, cause then when things get running like good, like it's boring. We don't have nothing. Like it's kind of like we did the mission. Now we don't have no new mission, unless we want to keep pushing. Like we want to go from a community college and we want to go to a D3 school now. We want to go from a D3 school then to a D2 school. But schools don't do that. They get complacent really easy. Like you rarely see a school say, "Oh, we want to go and we want to hopefully grow our student enrollment so we can become a Division I school, or we want to hopefully keep our academics strong so that we can become an Ivy League." You don't see schools doing that. They more trying to get into another power conference of a football league or NBA or college basketball. Like you got Texas now, and I don't follow sports, but Texas in the SEC now. And they used to be in another conference, but they'll work on that, but they won't work on the academics better, so I don't want to go on no tangent because we still talking about Furman University. And then G said Columbia wasn't perfect, LOL. I had to do way more lead work than you would realize. There were generational level change happening when I was there. Okay. Columbia started a whole nother school. They did? Oh, wow. Columbia is different from that. That's good. That's good. So that's good to know. That's good. Very optimistic, continuing to improve and grow and work on different things. And like you said, different school. So that's really good. And so right here it says Furman University said they're competing for the best. The student recruiting landscape is also increasingly competitive nationwide as the college age population begins to decline. College age population begins to decline. Universities with very large endowments have more scholarship money to entice applicants, which is true. Which is why we saw Syracuse University give a better package when they need more students, regular students. My girl actually sent to me, G. She sent something about, you heard about it? One of the Waltons from Walmart has a free medical school. Have you heard about that? You heard about that, G? Like one of the Waltons, they have like a free medical school. I think it's bull crap. I think it's bull crap. I don't trust it. What you think? Let me get your perspective. I don't know. Ain't nothing free. But I always do say medical school shouldn't be that pricey though, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like something gonna come up eventually. But I looked into it. She paying for the first five the first 5 classes. Then what, go back to normal? So as G keep typing that. So they saying they're competing for the best. This is Furman trying to boast about their rankings. I don't really care about your rankings. I care about your results. So right here they said the high level of student participation in research, internships, and study away also sets Furman apart. More than 85% of students participate in at least one of 3 engaged learning experiences, and many students participate in more than one. Okay. Campus tours. Guys, campus tours. If a school like Furman right now is mentioning campus tours, like right now they're saying many students interested in Furman make their decisions final when they visit campus. How you say this? I'm going to say it. Shock said, I think it's Shock. Shock. And of course, when you hit on words right there that I just said, I don't hear nothing. Shuck. Okay, yeah, Shuck. So Shuck, that's the vice president of enrollment management. She said, I'm about to put it in the group chat so G can see it too. Emily Shuck said this. Vice president at Furman for enrollment management. So right there, she said many students interested in Furman make their decisions final when they visit campus. Guys, when you hear that, don't make a decision to go to a school because of the campus, man. Like, not at least to live there. Like, I get that the campus is nice, but think about it. If it's that nice, you're paying for it. You shouldn't want to go to a school because of, if that's the best they're coming with, campus tours, that means their college is expensive. Furman University and they're private, so I already know they're probably expensive. Could be wrong, but if I had to put money on it, if I had to invest in this, I am very bullish on that. This is very expensive. Very bullish. And I would put a put on this school right now for the future. Very bearish long term on it. Very bearish. And so what does a campus tour have to do with me going to class? Well, campus visits can be real enticing. They just use that word too, G. Enticing. Now I seen you said it and I read it. Now, guess what, G? Now I gotta Google it because I don't even know what. I think I know what enticing, convincing. Is that what it means? Enticing means convincing. I feel like that's what it means. Campuses can be very convincing. I feel like that's what enticing means. Enticing. You know, I never went on campus visits. I went on one campus visit when I was in high school, G. Oh, yeah, attractive. Yeah, attractive and tempting. Convincing, yeah. Okay. Look at me. Hey, I be happy when I get a word and I don't know the definition. I'm going off my thought, my general thought. That means my reading been paying off. Oh. Yeah, yeah. So, no, you're not finna get me with that. Not finna get me with that. No. Not me. Not me. What does the return on investment looks like when I leave this campus? When I'm not in school no more here, what does the return on investment look like? You know, are we gonna get some of, what's the return on investment? What's the return? I went on one, G. I went on one in high school, one campus, one college tour. I should have did it again when I was transferred to my university. And 8 fly-ins must be nice. We ain't had no fly-ins. Like, what the return on investment look like if I go to Furman University? What the return on investment look like? So, in the end, they're saying they're doing more targeted, data-driven approach to telling people about Furman's advantages, of course. Trying to build that perspective. They're trying to build that pipeline. They said we are redefining how we engage with high school students in their college search. If you want to I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. If you want to engage with high school students, I'm not saying it. I'm gonna do it on my live screen, and then all of them gonna come to me, and I'm gonna have all them high schoolers attention, all the high schoolers attention. I'm not even gonna get them the idea. I'm just gonna show them when it happens. They gonna be so upset when they see it because they gonna be like, "Oh, we should have did that." What is one thing high schoolers want to do now? High schoolers, people today, what do they want to know? They want to know the person. Like and subscribe, man. They want to know the person. Like G said yesterday, I quote G. G said, they could care less about a president. They could care less about a president. G said that. Right. So if they know the president or they know people at the school through a freaking phone, you're inclined to get them. Mic drop. But they won't hire me in marketing. They won't hire me if I try to get a marketing job. President, you need pay attention. Pay attention. See, higher education, they boomers. Clip me, G. They're boomers. They're boomers. What do you see? Look what Donald Trump did. He went on he went on the Joe Rogan, that's his name, Joe Rogan podcast. Then he had everybody was like, whoa. Everybody's like, whoa. He changed the game. We're going on podcasts? Yeah, nobody really watches. You got to go on these. You got to collaborate. You got to go to these platforms. Everybody has their own community. That was a game changer. So, college presidents, vice presidents, you want to get people, you want to start doing interviews. You've had to start going on things and blah, blah, blah. Well, Joe Rogan is in his realm, if we honest. Joe Rogan is in his realm, if we honest. What you mean in his realm, G? And I'm about to read your comments real quick. And then, guys, that's pretty much it with Furman University. That was a mic drop moment. You feel me? That was a mic drop. And we're going to review Furman University, and then y'all can go. So, G said, G is getting it. G, you were typing. I didn't know you was typing that much. G said, When I say classes, I mean like 5 cohorts. That's when we was talking about one of the Waltons having a medical school. 5 cohorts of students. Okay. It's proven, so she is paying for. It's unproven, so she is paying for them to be the first tribute. Okay. Yeah, because it's probably not accredited either. And then, well, campus visits can be real enticing. We did say that. UPenn has quite, yeah, you said that. UPenn has one of the best campuses you've been to. G said I went on like 12 college tours, maybe 8 fly-ins. LOL, most students just don't know about them. True, true, true. That's why fly-ins were so important. They let you stay with students and experience life on campus. Oh, wow. Like his followers already are into Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan is in his realm, if we are honest. Like his followers already are into Joe Rogan. It's more like a confirmation bias, if anything. A confirmation bias. Interesting. Okay. Like that. Like that. See, G? G, you lead the channel, you gonna hurt my feelings. I appreciate that input. I appreciate that input. And I'm just setting up for the review. We're gonna do Furman University. Furman University. And I didn't forget, guys, with the office of undersecretary, because G said they don't have that much power. So I'm gonna see if I'm right, because I'm finna fact check that on what G said earlier, if G remember. Finna fact check G. That one. Okay. It is only 10:16. We're making progress. Making progress. Okay, Furman. Okay, Furman. Shut me up. Furman gonna be like, he ain't look at it. Let's keep watching the video, see he gonna say so. Okay, Furman. Okay, Furman. Okay, Furman. Okay, pop your stuff. Okay. Okay, scared of y'all. Okay. Furman got, hey. Hey. Scared of them. Hold on now. It might be worth it. It might be worth it. Let's see. As their... Okay. Furman is not. Yes, they are. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. They saved me a lot of time. You ain't seen tuition yet, LOL. Hey, they not expensive. The most expensive tuition I've seen so far, because I think we did a review on Columbia. Don't get mad at me, G. But I think NYU is the most expensive I've seen so far. It was like $96,000, $97,000 a year. Furman right now, Furman University, theirs is pretty much $83,000 a year. Ooh, somebody. Ooh, that's a lot of money, bro. You don't know that you don't got... See, people don't think about this, man. Value education is no joke. People think they got money till they be like, when it's time to send your kids to a good college, and then you be like, oh, you want to send your kid to a really good college? You want to send them to a college? All right, hold on. 82,000 times 4. If they graduate in 4, man, you need at least 300,000 to send your kid to a really top-notch school. I don't know how top-notch Furman is. We finna find out. G, give me your thoughts. What do you know about Furman? Are they close to being Ivy? Are they just really, what's that word? They're close to it. They're like right there, front door. Like they're in the USC realm. Like USC is not Ivy, but they're really good, scholarly. Like, let me know what your, give me your breakdown on the Ivy perspective. You know me, I'm going to tell you 2 year to 4 year. You know I'm going to tell you, if you want to make money in college, unless you're going to this school full ride, you better go to a 2 year bridge to a 4 year. If if you really want to go here, you better go here your last year of school. You better go there your senior year and make the most of every day. But guys, it's gonna cost you, while G is doing that, it's gonna cost you like 82 grand. That's including housing, meal plans, and everything to go to Furman University. It's gonna cost you about 80, pretty much 82,000. I said 83, but 82 to 83,000. I'm doing a little. I started with the annual cost. They said the annual cost. I mean, top 50 probably LOL. Nah, I ain't going there. Nah, I ain't going there then. So if Def not Ivy. Nah, I knew it wasn't Ivy. So their average annual cost, they're saying pretty much $39,000. That's how much it's gonna cost you to go to Furman University. But guys, remember it's on the College Scorecard. College Scorecard probably factors in like you potentially getting like financial aid. You might get some other like merit-based things. You might get some need-based things. So they're saying this is what you're looking at paying realistically. So the graduation rate though at Furman University is a B. It's 81% on a 100% scale. Very good, way past the midpoint. We already talked about the average annual cost, 83,000, 82,000. But getting a $300,000 education. The last school I seen at NYU, if you paying $300,000 for education at NYU, it's like 300,000 to 400,000. They're saying in 10 years you can have a salary of $69,000 if you go to Furman. Now, guys, when I compare it to like NYU is charging about the same prices, but they're saying like in 10 years you're gonna make about $96,000 or more. Like you're gonna, on average, you're gonna hit that $96,000 mark on average. You're gonna be under it or you're gonna be over it. Like most of their students get $96,000 though. That's what that midpoint is. So I do want you to keep in mind about that. So as we keep going, we talked about the costs, graduation and retention rate. We talked about graduation rate. Students at Furman after their first year is 89%. That's a B. So 89% of students return after their first year at Furman University, which is dope. Not bad. Not bad considering their prices, but they said the average debt you gonna get going to this school is $23,000. So I'm assuming people who go to this school, they know they're going to this school because their students receiving federal loans is 28%. So I'm assuming students who go in here, they're paying cash or their parents are paying cash. So 28% to go to school, 28% to receive federal loans, and then 20%. Yeah, you got a 28% chance of receiving federal loans. And then it's like 23,000 that you're going to have on estimate if you go here of student loans, 23,000. But remember, your salary going to be like 68,000 in 10 years. Not guaranteed, but in 10 years. We talked about the earnings. You have an 80%, pretty high, but you have an 80% chance of making more than a high school graduate. Okay, you have an 80% chance. It's pretty high. So 20% chance you will make less than a high school graduate. Let's go to the test scores. I'm really eager to see this. They have a 53% acceptance rate. Yeah, you got 50% chance of getting in. So G said, according to their own stats, 99% of students get. G said, according to their own stats, real quick on the sidebar, 99% of their students get institutional aid. G said, I don't know how true that is though, or how that number came about. Okay. And where you pull that from, G? As I keep going real quick. So their test scores, remember, you have a 53% chance of getting accepted. And then the school considers admission test scores. They consider it. Furman considers the SAT and ACT during the application process. But they do not require them. Why? Because schools need students. They need students. A school who doesn't need Students, G pulled that information from their site. Shout out to G. G pulled that information from their site, from their actual school website. 99% of their students receive institutional aid. Appreciate that, G. And so students were, what I said, yeah, they need students. Furman University needs students, because I seen one school that actually required the ACT still. So I would assume if a school got too many students coming, they need to put a barrier to make it, hey, we need to filter some students off a little bit. So overall, what do I rank Furman? 83 grand a year, and you're not an Ivy. G put the perspective in because G went to Ivy. G said, they probably top 50, probably. So they charging a house pretty much to go to their school, but you're only going to make, in 10 years, you're going to make about 68,000, 69,000. On the 2-year to 4-year perspective, will I transfer here? No. Nah. So they're a private school. They're between a D and an F. They're not a C. So on a 2-year to 4-year perspective, speaking on behalf perspective, but if you know what you're doing and you going here and you gotta pay anything, I'm just giving some preface real quick, then you good. You ain't even watching my channel if you good on school. If you watching this channel and you trying to go to college and you don't know how you're finna pay for that, I'm still gonna put some input in, like you should, probably talk to the school and see how much aid you're gonna get to cover you your 4 years there. But if they tell you, the school tell you like your aid is not gonna cover you and you're gonna have to pay like half of this 82 grand, which is 40 grand. Yeah, you trying to go to school without money. That don't work today. So I'm gonna get them a D. I don't think they're an F because they have a very pretty decent income. They have good numbers. Everything was like a B. But they're not an Ivy, guys. I feel like Ivy should charge house prices or close to being an Ivy. They're pretty much just some regular old private school, essentially. And just check. And are they non-profit? I didn't even verify if they were non-profit or not. So I'm gonna check to see if they're non-profit real quick, because that's gonna drop them to an F if they're not. I think they're a non-profit. Guys, I don't even see it. Yeah, they're non-profit. Okay, so they're non-profit. So yeah, they'll be a D. They're not an F. They're a D. And then if they want to redeem themselves, they reach out to the speaking on behalf. Whoa. Regular show. Only the real ones know about regular show. So if they really want to redeem themselves, Furman, we set up an interview. We rate. We do the school. They break down, tell us some things. We let G and many others. If we got others by then, we let G and them. Hey, we like, what y'all think? Y'all buying this? I'm not buying this. Y'all feeling bullish or bearish? Bullish or bearish? And so yeah, they're gonna be a D. Of course, it's gonna go on the playlist. And yep. Looks like we got more in common, LOL, yeah. So that's all for tonight. I don't think we hit 2 hours. I think we hit 1 minute and 43. We did good. Yeah, we did good. We do. So we'll be on tomorrow. So I can work out with my brother again. We're gonna come on because I haven't started working yet. We're gonna come on live. We're gonna go live at 5 p.m. tomorrow, unless something come up. So we'll be on a little early tomorrow. And then so look for us at 5 p.m. It will be up there, and I will keep editing like I do, because I'm trying to get this playlist together. So I'm thinking about prioritizing the playlist. That playlist is gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. I don't know nobody else with that. That's gonna be dope. So see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Chicken grease. Oh, G said I like regular show as well. Yeah, who doesn't? Like only the real ones know. They got some real life advice in there. Not gonna get nowhere with that attitude. Benson stayed on them. So, see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Stay safe. Don't work too hard. Get some sleep, G. And stay strong.